Yes, lovely people, Dwayne Nathan Jack here, and today I'm going to be taking you through some real truths. And at the end of the day, you've got the red pill, the blue pill. That's right, you can go through this video and forget you watched the video, forget about the information that I've presented to you, go about your business and carry on with life. Or you can take the information on, implement, take it as truth, so the veil starts disappearing and you become stronger, wiser, and more free from within, minimizing pain, suffering, misery, and death. Yes, minimizing the risk. Anyway, so here we go. One sec. Let me just grab me green tea. Previously, this used to be I think it's double E, coffee. However, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. Coffee, caffeine, stimulants. And guess what happened? I'd feel like the heartbeat races. So imagine that's just the normal pace, yeah? And then you drink the coffee and it's faster. Dopamine, endorphins, fight, flight. You feel good, you're being productive, A, B, and C, you're getting things done. You feel like things are. However, guess what happens? As the heart rate speeds up, you become more impulsive and you're in fight, flight, and freeze. That's right, you're in survival, as if you're under attack. So you can imagine you're acting on impulse because you think you're under attack. You may make decisions and choices based off of that impulse rather than harmoniously, because you're actually in the vibration that you're under attack because you're in fight, flight, and freeze. So you can understand the effects this has, but not just that. You've got your brain. Then you've got your heart. Not going to worry about the artwork today. We'll do that another day. However, yeah, you've got your gut, your intestines, yeah? Now, this cord that goes from your brain, the skull, to your heart, through to your belly, is called the vagus nerve. Now, your nervous system is very sensitive. It's delicate. And what forms your personality, your reality, and who you are as a person is your nervous system, yeah? Because it's your database, it's your nerves, your neurons that wire together, fire together. That's like the computer receiving the information from what you can see, taste, and touch. And then the information goes in and then stimulates the rest of the body to pump oxygen and give it energy. So you can imagine when you're in fight, flight, and freeze, there's oxygen pumping around the body as if you're under attack, but you're not. You're in survival mode. So when you're in survival mode, do you think you're able to communicate effectively or make the right choices and decisions? No, because you're under pressure. And if you're under pressure, guess what? You're not going to operate effectively. Now watch this. As the stimulation comes faster, your certain part of your brain locks off from logical thinking because it's in the survival mode. So you're not even thinking correctly. How's that affecting not just your relationship with yourself, but the relationship and the communication within business and the decisions that you're making. I'm asking you the question. We think when we've got this stimulant that we're productive. It feels as if we are like, but the reality is, it isn't. Because it's taking you further and further away from yourself. Now, when you are operating from the flight, fight, and freeze, you are locking off from here. In your head, you're dead because you're literally in your head. You become unconscious, you're not in the present moment because you're trying to speed into the future, you're trying to get things done, and you're doing and you're doing and you're doing. Where the power, people, sorry to crash your concept of reality, is in being still. It's 80-20 being and 20 doing that's more effective than 80-20. Now you can think that's absolute bull. However, it's science, it's physics. Everything that you can see, taste and touch around you, the car, the phones, everything hasn't come from the outside in. It's come from the inside out. Where did it come from? It came from the brain, the mind, the heart, the imagination. It came from behind your eyebrow, behind your eyes, lids, and it came from the dark place they call the tabernacle. If you know, you know. So, people, when you are in that stimulation of the impulse of the doing and speeding up, you're going further and further away from yourself. Because the more you slow this down and you be still, it says, be still and know that I am. Put in the comments, please. Finish off the line. So the more you're able to become nothingness, the more you become everything. It's consciousness that moves everything that you can see, taste, and touch. And that's why it says, with faith, you can, as small as a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. Do you see that? As small as a mustard seed, faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. What is a mountain? A mountain is the same as us. It's matter. Mud, rock, stone, grass, it's matter. What's moving now? It's matter. So when we said faith as small as a mustard seed can move the mountain, it means move the mountain, move matter. There's the car. The mountain's just gone past. It's the car. It's moving. It's matter. I'm moving. It's matter. Now, this may be a bit deep for some of you to understand, but it's not for everyone. Because he said, some will have eyes that can't see. Some will have ears that can't hear. He spoke in parables. Some weren't supposed to understand, level stand. And there was some that were supposed to digest and take it in because they had ears that could hear and eyes that could see. Not everyone has eyes that can see or an eye that can see. Aye, aye, Captain. Are you with me? So with what I'm trying to get at, we have this earth suit, the five senses. And with these five senses, with what you can see, taste, touch, and hear and smell, every experience is a stimulation. The car's going, it's stimulants. It's all stimulating. It's all data. It's all stimulating the five senses. So where the power's at, the more you are stimulated and doing, the further you go away from yourself, the more energy you lose, the more you came in and you slow the arousal level down and you be still. That's why meditation is key. Be still. You close your eyes. You're reducing the stimulation and stimulants of your five senses. And that's where the power's at, where you can move mountains. You can use your imagination that moves through consciousness and attract the circumstances, situation, and events that you want to experience. And it's from the inside out. And then when you open up your eyes and you go about your business from doing the internal work, you will experience with consistency is frequency. But being consistent with the frequency, you will eventually experience that reality. Dwayne, Nathan, Jack. So, let me just break it down a little bit deeper. So we have the stimulations of our five senses. We have from what we see, music, you can put the music on, oh, you're going some, yeah? Whatever it may be, the stimulants. Then you have substances that you can put inside you, drink, sniff, smoke, whatever it may be, vapes. And now this stimulates you even more than the natural stimulants of the perception through your five senses. Are you with me? So now your brain waves, I'm not going to go into the brain waves now due to it will be for another video, but just to break it down. So your brain waves, yeah, so your your beta is for when you're active, A, B, and C, doing things, this, that, and the other. But if you go beta, is it B-A-L-T, B-E, B-E, anyway, you would get belter. With the belter, sorry, give me 1 second. Passion over perfection, don't care. B-E-L-T-A. Here we are, we'll find it now. That's why kids go to school. The brain waves. No, it was beta. B-E-T-A. B-E. No, I don't know why I put L and a thing, but never mind, it don't matter. Passion over perfection. Yeah, so let's just go into, yeah? So look, associated with activity, thinking, alertness, focus, problem solving, high excessive beta activity is linked to stress and anxiety. So there you go. Obviously, I weren't going to go into it. I didn't have it off the dome. I couldn't even spell it properly. However, don't worry about that. And listen, people, remember, it's passion over perfection. Yeah? Yeah? I can't read and write properly, but I still got into prisons. I still got contracts with Ministry of Justice. I still got contracts with NHS, A, B, and C. That's how you do it, because you're working, you're moving mountains, like I'm just referring to, with faith as small as a mustard seed and implementing this stuff. Now you're going from ordinary to extraordinary, and you're not operating from someone else's concept that you can't do A, B, and C if you haven't got education, or if you've been to prison before, you can't get a job. You bloody make a job. You create a business, and then the institution hire, commission for your consultancy. Come on, you know, it makes sense. And it's not my power, by the way. Give glory, yeah? He that lives within me is greater than he that lives within the world. Come on. Yeah? So, back in the room, Dwayne, back in the room. You can get excited. See, the stimulation's there. So you see, it's about having awareness, but you saw the stimulations there when I started speaking about getting into flow. You see the energy change and the stimulations. So sometimes I have to bring it down. And just on that topic, when I used to go gym, not used to go gym, I still go gym. Can't you tell? Yeah? But when I used to go gym, when I was in my previous life, locked up and stuff, what you got to understand is, we were like animals trying to get in. Like, I was twice the size I am now, trying to get in to get weights, and there'd be the whole wing trying to fight through the door, like about 20, 30 man trying to get through, and we were like animals. And in the end, I started just sitting back. I thought the weights will be there, and I'll just let them go. But after my gym session, I started to realize that I was very impulsive and very ready to bite people's heads off and start being aggressive, whilst my stimulation was, I was in fight, flight, and freeze. Yeah? So, flight, fight, freeze. Yeah? I would do things out of character that wasn't with the journey at the time. So I started learning about myself. I started to then be very conscious. After my gym, I would let the herds run off and be animals, and I would stay behind, just shepherd, and just walk. Then I'd get back to the wing, and I'd slowly slip into my cell, lock the door, put my ear things in, and go, woof. Bring my arousal levels down. Because when we're in fight, flight, and freeze, we're not operating efficiently. As much as we feel good, we feel on top of the world, but our perceptions and judgments are wrong. They're not grounded, they're not rooted. They're away with the fairies because we're high. Are you understanding? So even though we may feel good and we may feel like we're being productive and A, B, and C, it's not. Because you're not working with the life force. The life force is more powerful and potent. Less is more. Slowing down. You see more, you experience more. Even when you're there in a room and someone's talking the most and you don't talk, you get more from doing and being, doing less and being more. Let me run that one back. Doing less and being more. People think that you got to do more or want more, but you have to be more. And life start working for you and through you. But it's only when you're in the lack that you feel you got to rush, you feel you got to push, you got to force, you got to do all this forcing. Then you end up losing that what you want or need. But you shouldn't want or need anything that's yours anyway. But I'll wait for another video to go into that, because this video is all to do with the stimulants, how it affects you, how it takes you away from being yourself, how it restricts you from being in your heart because you're in your head, and if you're in your head, you're dead. And now let me break it down again a little bit deeper. Costa, Starbucks, I don't even think it's actually coffee. There's coffee in there, but I think there's something else in there as well, but I'm not even going to go that deep dive in right now. when I was addicted to Costa, I could be on the motorway. I would stop, I would wait for a few more junctions, service stations, to get a specific Costa because I didn't do Starbucks. What was in that? Why? Why? There must have been something in that. Why I would more go so long, because I wanted the, it changed me, changed my personality. Remember, I was addicted to stimulants throughout my life. And the addiction from the stimulants that were cocaine, crack, etc. as a child, don't judge me. Don't judge me, man. I'm not smoking anymore, man. Ah, my back, my back. If you know, you know. But anyway, yeah. If I never went through the problems and being the problem that I was, and solve the problems to be here today, I wouldn't have the depth, the soul to do the work that I'm doing. Some people will engage with me on LinkedIn. They go away and do their due diligence and have a look, and then it's like it scares them that I've got a past obviously childhood trauma, prison, drugs, A, B, and C. But wouldn't this person that's managed to solve all those problems from all those adversities, trials and tribulations, wouldn't he have more wisdom, knowledge and insights than someone that's gone to university for 5 years and got a PhD or a degree? Someone that's been through decades of life experience of drugs, alcohol, relationships, prisons, and then become a business owner, entrepreneur, and stabbed, shot, and nearly lost his life and been told that he'd never walk again. How much more wisdom and insights would the character be than someone that's had a nuclear family, had gone through the institution of school, college, maybe be bullied once in secondary school, whatever it may be, and then how much, come on. It's a no-brainer. Not that there's anything wrong with anyone but I'm just trying to make a point how people are so stuck in ignorance that they shut the door on a piece of the puzzle that could have saved their life or influenced their business in ways to scale in ways they couldn't even imagine or believe because they're in a prison within their own head with arrogance and judgment. I just don't know anymore. But these are the programs. See me, I won't judge anyone. I'll treat the cleaner and everyone. I'll give everyone the time of day. Why? Because you never know. You could be serving an angel or a demon. But anyway, back in the room, Dwayne. You see, I'm getting excited with the stimulations. So just going back to the caffeine, you get a high. And then you've got alcohol. Yeah, so people are on the high and then at the weekend, yeah, boom, the alcohol. So then that's a stimulant. You get drunk or whatever. Then in the morning, you need some more caffeine. So now you're stimulant, high, and you get too high. Then you want to come down. So then alcohol. So then now you're like a dog chasing its tail throughout the week. Now, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, you may drink weekends. It may be every other day. It may be every night, a beer, glass of wine, and possibly a line. I don't know. I'm not judging. I've done everything under the sun, but I'm here to give you information and insights because I don't want you to suffer anymore because I suffered for many years and it was painful until I become free and I didn't even realize. And remember, I've done years of addiction just of coffee. No drugs, just coffee. And it sabotaged me. And my potential business deals that could have won because I was in my head and I was acting on impulse and arrogant and I probably closed some few £100,000 due to my impulsivity of caffeine. So there we go. So you're getting the high and then you crash, yeah, or you could eat loads of food to get yourself to a sleep, food coma. So, ladies and gents, if you're drinking caffeine, you become dysregulated. If you're dysregulated, you're in fight and flight, life's not working for you or through you. When you're regulated, your vibrational frequency yeah, a field that comes out from you to, I think, 2 to 7 foot out, it has a field that has an electromagnetic that goes out, and it will attract, yeah, transmitter, receiver, information. And the universal ocean will provide you with the circumstances, situation, and events. When you're in fight, flight, and freeze, that reduces, yeah, that field. So it becomes smaller. So you can imagine, here's a regulated person. Yeah, that's the electromagnetic field. Here's a dysregulated person. Yeah. It's even bigger than that, yeah? That's dysregulated. So you can imagine, this regulated person, that's information going into the universal ocean. And the universal ocean provides you with the circumstances, situations, and events because it's electronic, it's magnetic, it's a transmitter, it's a receiver of information, energy coming from your heart and brain. If it's in coherence, but it can only be incoherent. It can only be coherent if is regulated. If you're not regulated, you're dysregulated, and your field is now reduced. So now your dreams and things what you're trying to force to do, pressure, A, B, and C, is running away because you're doing too much with force and impulse. You're getting frustrated, and your dreams and whatever situations are running away from you. This person that's regulated are just attracting things because they're being dysregulated. They're in fear. What do fearful people do? Attract what they're fearing because it's in their head. They're worried, they're stressed, they're fearing that they're going to lose the deal. This person already knows they are the deal, the real deal. Come on. They know. There's a knowing, there's a trusting, there's a letting go. Letting go. But most CEOs and entrepreneurs going from the old system, they don't let go because they don't trust, because they want to control. And why do you want to control? Because you're in fear. But this guy over here don't fear. Are you with me? So the moral of the story, just before I finish off, lovely people, is caffeine will destroy you and your dreams because you'll be dysregulated. You're dysregulated, then you contract your field, and that's the language, and you get frustrated because you're living in fear, anxiety, trying to do things from pressure. This person lives in trust, and it attracts everything inside because they are the dream, the deal, and then the external will magnetically attract that because it's all to do with the inside job. And whilst we're poisoning ourselves with caffeine and ups and downs, possibly with alcohol, caffeine, A, B, and C, obviously, I'm just sharing the information. I don't want you to not like me and for me to be a loner with no friends. I want you to like me. So good job. That, I don't care. I'm here for a mission to provide the information. Whether that hurts, whether it's a bit of salt in the wound. You know, you got a packet of crisps and you got a cut. Oh, why are you saying that, Dwayne? You're making me feel like an addict. It's destroying me, but I just love the feeling. Well, there's consequences. Where there's pain, where there's pleasure, there's pain, sorry. But anyway, back in the room, Dwayne, let me just slow it down now as we're just finishing up. So you get it. I'm only here to give you the information, and that information is the truth, and it's not only from my lived experience, but it's also from science and research. So, like I said at the beginning, you can take this information, forget about it, come off, don't subscribe to me, wound me even more that I've got no followers, subscribers. You can go about your business, pretend you never went through this video, carry on drinking your coffee, carry on acting on impulse, living in your head, destroying your life, and then see. Or you can then take the information, implement, and actually feel the benefits, feel life of abundance, and become independent without relying on something outside of you. It's like being an idol, like being your God. You get up in the morning, you need it to make me feel good, but you can feel good without it. Listen, lovely people, love you, do take care. Remember, this is real stuff, lived experience and theory. Do take care and have a great day.